Welcome. You are listening to the Louie Minor Show. I'm your host, Commissioner Louie Minor. Today is February 18th, 2023, and let's get started. We have a lot of things to talk about this week, but I would like to start off with a press release that I sent out earlier this week announcing the fundraising kickoff that I'm going to begin for raising the money to relocate the Confederate statue. Now, we didn't know how much it would cost, still a little in the abstract, but I think we have a good idea. It's going to be anywhere from $115,000 to $150,000, somewhere in that range. So what I did was Monday is February 20th, President's Day. A lot of people are off that day, so I planned a fundraising kickoff to be on February 20th at 1:30 there in front of the Confederate statue. I invited the press, and we'll see how it goes. I do know that there are some members of the public that plan to counter-protest our fundraising drive, and that's their right. But I just want to bring up, we did make the news. Fox 44 did a segment on this, and let me cue it up.
Bell County Commissioner Louie Minor is getting ready to launch a fundraiser to remove the Confederate statue in front of the Bell County Courthouse to a new location. Fox 44's Earl Stoudemire joins us in the newsroom to explain why Commissioner Minor feels this is a necessary move to make. Earl.
MG Commissioner Minor wants to relocate this statue because of the Confederacy's history of not representing all races.
For over 100 years, this statue has stood guard, perpetuating racism here in the county.
Minor says he has consistently proposed relocating the statue to his fellow commissioners with little response. In 2020, the commissioners voted to have a general referendum on the situation for public input. However, the plan has been on halt. The state legislature hasn't picked up the situation to allow the Bell County community to vote on the future of the statue. In the meantime, Minor emphasized no taxpayer dollars will go towards relocating the statue.
It was private funds that were used to erect it there. So we'll use private funds to move it.
For Shirley Fleming, president of the Bell County Coalition of Black Democrats, the statue relocation effort is a deep personal matter.
It hurts me every time I pass that statue. Every Black person that passes that statue, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, will be passing that statue from now on if we don't remove that statue.
Minor says the fundraiser goal for removal and relocation of the statue will cost $150,000. The fundraiser will kick off Monday, February 20th, with a protest taking place at the Bell County Courthouse.
We want everybody there to be peaceful and just to let the commissioners know we want that statue down. And whatever it takes for us to do it, we will do it. We will raise money and get it down.
We reached out to Bell County Judge David Blackburn to speak on the situation, but he is unavailable at this time to comment. Live in the newsroom, Earl Stoudemire, Fox 44 News.
Thanks, Earl.
So that was our coverage on Channel 44, Fox 44, the local Fox affiliate. The Temple Daily Telegram picked it up, and so did the Killeen Daily Herald. Picked it up and put it in their print, which is good. We got to get the information out. And, just so I'm clear, the Commissioner's Court has not authorized relocation on the statue. They made it very clear that there's no interest on at least their part to move the statue, which is okay. I guess we're going to have to, this is going to be a long game. This has been years in the making. And I guess we'll just have to keep pushing to do something on the statue until the makeup of the Commissioner's Court changes. But once we have some movement in that direction once we're ready to go. I don't want funds to be a barrier. I want to have those funds ready to activate as soon as we're ready, as soon as we're able to get that green light that we're going to need to move the statue. So, yeah, like I said, it's going to be a long process, and we'll be taking baby steps, obviously, to get somewhere. But that is just another step in this journey to relocate the Confederate statue. Yesterday, Friday, the 17th, I attended the ribbon cutting, the dedication ceremony for the new, improved, renovated Killeen High School. So it was good. It was a great ceremony. The facility looks fantastic, and it's gonna train a lot of, educate a lot of our youth here in the community for many years to come. And obviously there was a lot of elected officials there, and all I could think about in the back of my head is the future of public schools. And on this week, on Monday, the governor is coming to Temple, coming to the Central Texas Christian School to talk about parental empowerment. Now, I'm kind of on the fence if I should go or not. I mean, I kind of understand probably what he's going to be talking about, but on face value, what it's looking like is going to happen is they're setting up a system to take money out of public education. And like I said last week's show, our state representative that represents Killeen, HD 54, Dr. Brad Buckley, he's the chair of the public education. So it's going to be up to him to support and protect public education in the state of Texas as we know it. So it's going to be my personal job to make sure that he is aware that I don't think that's something that we can support. Switching gears, earlier this week, I attended a public hearing for the Killeen Temple Metropolitan Planning Organization, commonly known as K-Tempo, here in Bell County. And their purpose is to plan roads, bridges, infrastructure, a conduit to receive federal funds, state funds, and then allocate those to projects that cities and the counties want to fund based off of a priority list, long planning. These are things that, they plan out many, many years in advance and try to plan for growth. So the county partnered with K-Tempo to develop and update the Thoroughfare Plan for the county. The last time it was updated was in 2001. So there's obviously a need to update it. We've just have a lot of growth, a lot of development here in the county. But we went all through the process, and in January, they brought it to Commissioner's Court for ratification. But there wasn't a lot of input into the program, there wasn't a lot of public comments. I attended one in December, and I think I was the only person to show up. But before adoption, there were some people that attended from, I believe, the Precinct 3 area, and they voiced their opposition to to the proposed plan, and I made a comment that, why don't we commissioners host events in our precincts? And everyone agreed with that. That was a good idea. K-Tempo was okay with that. So that's what they started to do. The one for Precinct 4, my precinct, will be March 2nd. It'll be at Texas A&M University and Central Texas. And so I wanted to see how the public was interacting with K-Tempo and the other commissioners. I know they did Precinct 2, and I attended Precinct 3, Commissioner Schumann's, and I was surprised. It was packed. He had it at the courthouse and the commissioner court, and there was probably a good 75 to 100 people packed in there. Every seat was taken, and people were upset. People were mad based off of the planning. And I took some notes, and these notes that I took, they were based off of questions, observations, and interactions with the public. I think a need for contact information. They asked for updates. How would they know when it's going to come to the commissioner's court? How do we know what's going to be the final draft? When are they going to close public comments? And they just told them to keep an eye out on the website. I think that's a bad way to operate. The people that are coming to the meetings, they want to be informed. They want to be engaged. So what I'm going to do is have a sign-up roster to get contact information so I can notify them. And I think that's what we should be doing, getting their contact information, building that database for our constituents that want to be engaged and inform them. One of the other things that I had wrote down was provide a website and handouts. They mentioned accuracy of the maps, and what K-Tempo kept on saying that these are not set in stone. These are just for planning purposes, and nothing is finalized. But someone had mentioned in the audience that, well, you have completion dates, year of completion that you're expecting to do this. And I guess that makes sense. So it's more than just a line on the paper. And people said these are lines going through my property, going through my home that have been here for, years, decades, generations. So it matters to them where these lines are on the map. And then one of the big things, at least what people were complaining about in Precinct 3, was the Temple East Outer Loop. And from my understanding of everything, I don't keep up with the Temple, city of Temple like that. But Temple is expanding, and this proposed road that is in the process of going in is cutting through people's property. It's widening, getting easements into people's property. And they're not happy about it. They're not happy about growth. And they wanted to know who was on the planning for this road and all that stuff. And they weren't happy when all they could mention was developers and home builders. And the public didn't like that. And I hear this on planning and zoning multiple times. People will come in to planning and zoning and say, we don't want y'all to approve this development. That development is going to cause congestion, X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, we cannot tell landowners what to do with their land. at least not out in the county, and to some degree in the city. If you buy a piece of land or you sell a piece of land to someone and they want to subdivide it up, turn it into houses, as long as they're complying with all the regulations, there's nothing you could do to stop them. So that's the balancing act with the government is, listening to the needs of the residents that live there, and then the needs of the landowner, which could be just a farmer or a developer that wants to, build a subdivision, make homes. The homes are the American dream, and then subdivide that or sell that land off. So those are the things that we have to go through on working in government, balancing the needs and the wants of property rights of owners. And the Thoroughfare Plan did make the news. Channel 10, local CBS affiliate, had this piece on it.
A proposed plan in Bell County that may not come to fruition for 25 years has landowners wanting answers now. The Bell County Thoroughfare Plan is a long-range project with the goal of adding and expanding on more than 27 roads in Killeen, Harker Heights, and Temple. As News 10's Josh Bowering reports, some landowners were not even aware their property could be in danger.
The proposal includes a road connecting Maxdale Road to FM 2670 that cuts through the long-standing Perry Haynes Ranch.
There's multiple reasons to be concerned about this road, this specific road going through Perry Haynes. She had a legacy she wanted to keep going. And throughout the years, the state has abused the land and used it for wrong purposes. But in the last 15 years, with the help of some individuals, this land is back to what it's supposed to be.
Dr. John Cusack has land near the ranch that also finds itself in the proposed path. He and his wife have already planned to leave the land to their 3 children, but the connecting road could erase that vision.
If I, spend my whole entire life working and saving and building and creating something for my kids just for eminent domain to come and take it, that would absolutely break my heart.
Cusack isn't the only person looking to hold on to their land for future generations. Neighbor Ryan Kirkpatrick helps his in-laws operate the Ferris wheel at Terra Farms. Once Kirkpatrick takes over 100%, it'll be a 3rd generational farm.
So if they expand that road, they take out the barn, they take out part of the high fence, some of the oak trees that provide acorns for the wildlife.
Kirkpatrick also worries how it will affect his in-laws' income since they're retired and rely on the farm and event space for a small income. Reporting in Bell County, Josh Bowering, KWTX News 10.
So on Friday, yesterday, the 17th, it was also the last day to file for place on the ballot for local elections. So we'll see. Here's the list that I'm aware of so far for City of Killeen, District 1. We have incumbent Jessica Gonzalez and Gabriel Montevallo. District 2, we have incumbent Riacos Adams and Joseph Solomon. District 3, we have Patsy Bracey, Nina Cobb, incumbent. Then we have District 4, Michael Boyd, who, to my understanding, I believe no one filed to run against him. So then on Harker Heights City Council, for mayor, we have, it's an open seat. We have Michael Blomquist, Vitalis Dubinkinis, Jacqueline Fontaine, Marva Solomon, And I think a last minute file on Friday was David Michael Jones for mayor. For Harker City Council, it's to fill an unexpired term because Michael Bloomquist wanted to run for mayor, so he had to step down. We have Hal Schiffman, our very favorite Stacy Wilson, and Shane Hudenick. Place 4, we have Mike Aycock, Adonis Frias, and incumbent Linda Nash. Now for Killeen ISD, we have for place 4, Marvin Rainwater, who is the incumbent. And I believe we had Lan Carter and David Perry are running for place 4 on Killeen ISD Board of Trustees. For place 5, we have Brett Williams, the incumbent. So I guess, from my understanding, it looks like no one is challenging him. Then for Central Texas College, place 6, we have Don Armstrong, incumbent, and Cameron Cochran challenging in CTC place 6. We also have Ernest Wilkerson, former city council member, filed for place 6 on CTC School Board of Trustees. On place 7, Rex Weaver, incumbent. There are no challengers for him. And I believe that's going to be it as far as locally here. On February 27th, that is a Monday at 1800, 6 o'clock for you civilians. Killeen Daily Herald will host a candidate forum for Killeen City Council candidates. I've been to many of those before. I hope they change it up to have it more like a debate. What they typically do is, they'll ask a question and all the candidates answer to those. I really would like to see more of a debate type where, the candidates engage with each other and they're able to, talk about their positions on things and why their position is better than others and directly engage with the other candidates. For me, obviously, I'm going to be interested in their opinions on Proposition A, on the decriminalization ordinance. I'm going to be curious on, we have a new police chief that's going to have to be selected, and then their opinions on downtown and the bond election. So all these things affect residents of Killeen. I'm a resident of Killeen. So those things are going to interest me, and how they respond to those will be who I will support. So just a reminder that there is no Commissioners Court meeting on Monday. That is a holiday, President's Day. Then the rest of the week, the commissioners will be at the VG Young Institute for County Government for training. So that's where we will be. I did want to discuss just a quick, recap of the workshop that we had, just to let people know how things went. We had 2 items on the agenda for this week's workshop, and that's to discuss amending the hotel occupancy tax, and then discuss subdivision regulation fee schedule. So on the hotel motel tax, I invited the cities. Harker Heights attended and the city of Killeen attended. I had invited Belton, but they did not attend that. They did not attend. And the Expo Center director attended as well. And we had a vendor company by the name of Granicus that I had been in contact with to do identification of Airbnb type short-term rentals and how they would do compliance and collections of the hotel occupancy tax. One of the questions that I had was in our ordinance, the county ordinance, it had mentioned permanent residents, and it excluded permanent residents from the hotel occupancy tax. And it defined that as someone that lives there, I think, longer than 30 days. I thought we would have to amend that part, but on advice of the county attorney, he said that we should be good. We don't have to amend anything to do that collection. Now, I had already got this briefing from Granicus, identified how many are out in the county. Initially, I had estimated, just from what I gathered, anywhere from 200 to 300 Airbnb type in the county, but they have identified over 900, and the county is only collecting on 32. So there's a lot of collections still out there that I don't think it's the fault of the vendors. I don't think they know that they should be paying into that, but 32 of them do. So they presented. Now, anything that we bid out has to be over, well, anything that has to go to a bid is over $50,000. Anything under $50,000 for the county, we don't have to bid that out. So, and it depends on a bunch of things. If it's on the buy board or a buying cooperative, and we talked about that a little already, going over the small business initiative, that a lot of times the county doesn't bid anything out. They just go through the buy board or they whatever. But this one, for whatever reason, the other commissioners wanted to get more quotes. They wanted to do an RFP. And hey, I get that. I understand that. That's not going to be, if that's how they feel comfortable. I want to make sure that we're getting the best deal for the county as well. But the how much are we losing in collections every month, every quarter that this may take? I don't know exactly how long this is going to take, but now we're going to start the process of doing that RFP for that collections of the hotel motel tax. But everyone seemed in agreement that we should be attempting to collect that, setting the board fair throughout the county, whether you're a hotel or you're an Airbnb operator, a short-term rental operator. They all should be paying that hotel motel tax. So I think we're going to move forward with that. We just have to get some more bids, and that should be coming. What I did like, and I'm sure that the other companies will probably do this as well, is allow cities to get on board at a discounted rate. And I was trying to see if there was interest in other cities. There is. They would like any cost savings that if the county moves forward with this, that they can I guess, piggyback off the purchasing of the county and get that discounted rate. So hopefully we can work on that during this year and get that up and running. The other thing that we spoke about in the workshop was the subdivision fee schedule. And Commissioner Whitson said once again that he was surprised that there was really no pushback on implementing a fee schedule. The engineer's office went through and calculated their estimated fees, and I think it's appropriate to charge developers for that cost. And there was a representative from the Temple Area Home Builders Association, and there was a builder that was there, and they really didn't push too much on the fees. They just said, once you get started, it's never going to stop, and you're going to drive those costs up to the homeowners. But per lot, we're maybe talking, maybe a couple of hundred, maybe $1,000, $2,000 per lot. And I don't know why they don't have to pass that cost on. They don't have to mark it up multiple times, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to mark it up and pass that cost on to the buyer, which is, I guess, between the the buyer and the developer. But what concerned me was that we do this multiple times. I've even done it in P&Z, where I had to let people know it's not our job to estimate or to figure out the market prices and to worry about the profit and overhead of developers. It is our job to do what's in the best interest of the city, do what's in the best interest of the county, and do what's in the best interest of the taxpayer. And I think that's what these fees do. They do exactly that. They do what's in the best interest of the county and of the taxpayers. So that will be coming up on I believe it's the 27th. That will be the first meeting that we have after our training. And I'm thinking it's going to go to a 3-2 vote. It's going to wind up falling on the county judge of whether he thinks this is something that we should be doing or not. He comes from that background of, city manager. So I would think that he's going to be more inclined to vote in the affirmative on implementing a fee schedule for the county. It helps offset the cost. And we could use that money for whatever the engineer's office needs, their future needs. And one thing I guess the judge had asked for is for them to give an estimate of how much we would collect in a given year based off of what they did was they went off of the last 2 years average of how many plats and everything that we could charge for if we did charge for that. And it was around $300,000. So, it's not small, but it's not large either. But that would definitely help that office with maybe another position or something like that too. Because we're getting more and more development requests into the county. People want to build here. People want to move here. So that's what we're going with. Also, what was brought up during the workshop was the Killeen Annex. And I think we have agreed upon the tentative site plan for the annex. It's just going to have to go to the full commissioner's court for approval. But I think, and it was brought up during the workshop, was secure employee parking. No other no other county building has secure employee parking anywhere in the county, not even the jail. And I understand a little bit of what there's a perception that Killeen is dangerous. And you've heard that for many years. Killeen is dangerous. Don't go to Killeen. Don't go to downtown Killeen. But I really want to move away from that narrative. People that do not live in Killeen saying that it's dangerous. The other elected officials that are occupying the Killeen Annex said their employees don't feel like it's safe. But feeling is different than actual being safe. I told them I'd like to see police reports, crime statistics of attacks or vandalism or anything like that on county property versus all of them. And I don't want to make decisions based off of anecdotal evidence. I want to make decisions that are based on data. I want this annex to be welcoming. It's going to be an anchor. I mentioned it to our city manager here in the city of Killeen about secure employee parking, just like a big, I picture a jail or something in downtown, the way they, some type of fortress. And I don't think that's what we should have. And he even agreed that, that's a bad look. We don't want that look downtown. He said that I guess they're working on some tentative plans, and they had mentioned secure employee parking or some type of secure type parking. And he's like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to get cameras. We'll have security. I don't understand why employees will feel like they're not secure or safe. We have constables in the office, the largest constable's office in the entire county, over 14 constables that are working in and out of that building every day. That's their job, is to have security for the JPs. So I don't see how security is going to be an issue, how safety is going to be an issue when you have that many law enforcement working in and out of that building. You're going to have that many constable vehicles outside of the building. But, that's something that I will definitely be opposed to. That's what I told them in the workshop. That's what I told the architect. And I believe the city is in agreement with me, at least on that part, that we're not going to have that. We don't want that building to look like a fortress in downtown Killeen. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start winding things down. I just want to remind everyone that there is no Commissioners Court meeting on Monday. We will be kicking off our fundraising drive for the relocation of the Confederate statue. It'll be Monday at 1:30 at the Commissioners Courthouse in downtown Belton. I will provide a link for the GoFundMe on the details of this podcast. I'm going to encourage everyone to download, look at the information, donate, contribute, so we could start building that fund to get the statue moved. And just real quick note, I did get some I guess, negative social media about me raising money for this. And I just thought it was comical that, they're complaining that I'm raising money, fundraising. The guy that sent it to me said personal gains, defrauding the public. But our governor, Greg Abbott, raised money to build the wall. He solicited funds to build the wall. The sheriff and the Sheriff's Foundation, they solicited money to get the fallen law enforcement statue. So, there's, I just thought it was funny that, they want to, critics want to come after me for raising money for moving the Confederate statue. But anyways, the GoFundMe link will be in the details of the podcast. Share it, get it out there. We will see you on Monday, and have a good week.